For the first time since October, the New York Jets won a game. Gang Green ended a 5-game losing streak on Sunday, knocking off the Texans 30-6 at MetLife Stadium and into victory. The Jets' offense showed a pulse, led by quarterback Zach Wilson. So let's talk about the Jets' big offensive day, and we're going to do it with New York Post sports columnist Steve Serby, who joins me now. Steve, I did not see this coming. An offensive explosion for the Jets. This is the third time this season they scored more than 20 points and more. Just a crazy day, a rainy day at MetLife. Did you stay dry while watching the game?
Well, yeah, I did, but
Good.
Yeah, nobody saw that coming, right? I mean, 301 yards passing from Zach Wilson, the third 300-plus yard game of his career.
Yeah.
I call it slinging in the rain. Get it?
I see what you did there. I see.
Yeah.
Hopefully the headline writers for New York Post use that.
Well, I've got that in my column. I have those words in my column.
Okay.
Now it's up to them.
Okay.
But it's amazing what can happen when you get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. Garrett Wilson, 9 catches, 108 yards. Breece Hall, 8 catches. I've been calling for him to be an outlet for Zach Wilson all year. 8 catches, 86 yards and a touchdown, in addition to 40 yards rushing. So that's 194 of Zach Wilson's 301 yards passing. The kid.
I want to ask you, before you get to that, I wanted to ask you, because you're talking about the playmakers, but with Zach Wilson, right, which is the key here, he returns under center as a starter. And Steve, outside of the third quarter fumble that he had, he had a pretty strong passing game. You just mentioned it. 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. So this is the question for you. Was this the best game of Zach Wilson's career?
Oh, yeah, I believe it was. And I've seen almost all of them. He was fearless. He was aggressive. And yet he was smart at the same time. He let his playmakers make plays. He threw them open. This is the quarterback that Joe Douglas thought he drafted. This is the quarterback that Jet fans dreamed would be their savior, their modern day Joe Willie, if you will, even though nobody will be the modern day Joe Willie. But give the kid credit. I mean, he's taken slings and arrows all over the place. He showed how resilient he was. He showed that he was a fighter, and good for him. He got to be the best version of Zach Wilson. He put that on display today and outplayed C.J. Stroud. Of course, Zach didn't have to play against the Jets defense, but there was one play in particular that really caught my eye. It was right before the 12-yard touchdown pass, 15-yard touchdown pass to Randall Cobb. Wilson was chased by Jonathan Greenard to his left. He threw across his body and connected with Garrett Wilson for a 25-yard gain. And that was the kind of off-schedule Zach Wilson that Jet fans had been dreaming about for the last 3 years. So the kid had confidence, played with confidence, and his teammates rallied around him.
Yeah, they absolutely did. He got it to his playmakers, as you talked about. Definitely a good day for the Jets offense. Now, look, Steve, the offense, they're going to get a ton of love today, considering how badly the Jets have struggled on that end this season. However, the defense, they held Houston to 6 points on Sunday. How impressed were you with what the Jets D did in this upset victory?
Well, I'm not going to take anything away from the Jets defense, but let me just point this out. Nico Collins, their elite wide receiver, left the game in the first half early with a calf injury, did not return. Tank Dell is out for the year, their exciting diminutive rookie. Dalton Schultz, their tight end, was not available for C.J. Stroud. But that being said, they still held C.J. Stroud to 91 yards passing. The running game couldn't work. And credit to the special teams also, in particular Thomas Morstead, the weapon punter, who twice pinned C.J. Stroud inside the 10-yard line and once inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, special teams was strong for the Jets as well. 2 on Sunday. And, Steve, look, it's one game, but the Jets, they're still mathematically alive for the playoffs. But the question for me is, should today's performance by Wilson in the offense inspire hope? I keep saying that word with the Jets. Should it inspire hope among the fan base about a possible December playoff run?
No. Nope. Sorry. They've won 5 games, right? The Bengals won today. The Ravens won today. The Browns won today. Boy, Joe Flacco might have been able to provide that spark that Robert Saleh was looking for before he had to turn back to Zach Wilson. Flacco threw 3 touchdowns today for the Browns. But anyway, the Jets are in Miami next week. If they pull off that upset, I'll be happy to talk to you again, Dex, about hope. But Zach Wilson's going to have to go toe-to-toe with Tua and do what he did again today. And let's just say I'm not very optimistic that he can win a shootout with Tua and Tyreek and Jalen Waddle and Devon Achane in Miami, because the game will mean something to Miami now that Buffalo defeated Kansas City today. Buffalo's not dead yet. So Miami wants that division. Kudos to the Jets. Kudos to Zach Wilson. Kudos to Nathaniel Hackett, because Hackett and Wilson seem to be in sync today. But no, to answer your question, no. Let's not get hysterical. No playoff talk yet.
Yeah, let's not go there just yet.
And no Aaron Rodgers next week, by the way.
Oh, yeah. You know, that talk will start happening, too, especially if they win next week. That might start happening. But if they do get to 6-8, Steve Serby will be back to answer the question if playoff talk is realistic then. But for now, I'm going to put that on pause. That is the great Steve Serby, New York Post sports columnist, breaking down with you the Jets' win over the Texans on Sunday, 30-6. Jets scored 30 points on Sunday. Haven't seen that in quite some time.
All in the second half.
Yeah, I know. Very
hard to believe.
Very impressive. Brian Costello told me the key to winning this game was they had to score some touchdowns. Well, they did that today. They did exactly that.
Normally to win games in the NFL, you have to score touchdowns. That's usually the way it works.
That's usually how it goes. All right, Steve, thank you so much. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks. Thank you.